الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم مدد يا سيدي يا رسول الكريم حبيب العظيم انظر حالنا واشفى لنا وأبدوني بمددكم من نظركم مدد يا سلطان الأولياء مشيخ عبد الفيض داغستاني سيدنا محمد ناظم هذا حقاني مدد يا سيدي يا مولانا الشيخ الشام كلنا انظر حالنا واشفى لنا وأبدوني بمددكم من نظركم وأنا عبدك العجيز ضعيف ومسكين وظالم وجهل if not by the grace of Allah that cease to exist, and that asking to take a path of nothingness and continuous reminder for ourselves of our trying to be nothing and enter into the oceans of Allah's rahmah and mercy. And alhamdulillah Allah granted us a good life and long life to see this holy month, and the opening of this holy month and alhamdulillah is the month of Hijrah, the month in which Prophet was granted a permission to move from Mecca to the city and the reality of lights. And everything of our life, Prophet is great, and all this creation is for the greatness and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Allah who Akbar is more supreme, no doubt. But the love that Allah has means that Sayyidina Muhammad and all the Prophets have a timeless reality, and we are the people who are interested in the malakut, and alhamdulillah whatever comes for the mulk, no problem. But we're not people who are only interested in the physical world and pay no attention to the spiritual realm. Means that there must be a symbol and a message that Prophet has for our lives at every moment, and everything by perfect example. That Prophet struggled for 13 years in Mecca, and Mecca represents the state of the heart. That this way of reality, this way of reaching towards Allah it's a continuous struggle. It's not a one-time benefit, you feel good, next day you don't feel good, you give it up. It's a lifelong battle, and how much Prophet went through difficulty, and describes that there was no Prophet that was more abused by his people than Sayyidina Muhammad. So means that leaves for us a tremendous understanding of our path, that is not going to be easy, it's not always going to be instant gratification, and it's going to be continuous struggle against the self. Means to fight into the heart so that the message of Allah can enter into the heart. That struggle with the heart, struggle with the heart, struggle with the heart, and keep the love of the Messenger of Allah so that message can enter into our hearts. It's not only that Prophet had companions and nobody else has Sayyidina Muhammad. A timeless reality is that they kept the companionship and we keep the companionship, not the same darajat. But to keep the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, that when you love and praise upon Prophet it describes that my soul comes back and to accompany you. The greatest of companionship is durood al-sharif, that continuous durood al-sharif, love of Sayyidina Muhammad so that message can enter, the understanding of the struggle can enter into the heart. And then the holy month of Hijrah begins, and every year we shower for the arrival of Muharram, and that ask, Ya Rabbi Allah, that make our year of no haram. Muharram haram, no haram in the month of Muharram means our whole life is, Ya Rabbi I'm leaving and making my pilgrimage from badness to goodness, and every darajat of goodness means even from what I thought was good, Ya Rabbi if you found any bad in it this year let me to leave that too, and continuous hijrah and movement and pilgrimage to Divinely Presence until the greatest pilgrimage is into the ground. Where Allah open a permission and say, now your time my beloved servant is finished upon this earth, Means that at every moment there's a movement towards Divinely Presence. So Prophet comes into our life and inspires within our heart that step out that Muharram with your right foot, shower and prepare yourself and ask that, Ya Rabbi, I'm making a ritual wash that take away all my bad characters. Let that wash be like a janazah for me, that you be pleased with me, happy with me, and that I'm going to step with my right foot 3 steps in the movement of Allah, directing ourselves towards Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi aliyyil azim. Then they make 3 steps and say, Ya Rabbi, I'm moving towards your Divinely Presence. That the rest is that you take 1 step and Allah comes 99 steps to you. That, Ya Rabbi, I'm asking for your support, your madad, your nazar, your everything that you can offer to your creation, Ya Rabbi. Grant that so that I can reach your satisfaction. Ilahi anta maqsoodi wa ridat matloob. That I'm begging your forgiveness and seeking your satisfaction. Means that is the hijrah, that is the reality of the hijrah that Prophet wanted, that it's not a history story that only I did it. But if you want to follow my sunnah, is not only you wear hijab and a hat and have a ring, but live your life the way I live my life, and I'm going to duplicate it on a very small schedule, so it's a very small scale, so that it doesn't have to be so severe and so difficult. Nobody can carry what Prophet carried. But you see the greatness and the love of Prophet when he grants you to follow his life. Then make a hijrah for me. Most make a hijrah here for business, they move into areas where they can make money. And Prophet reminding that at any opportunity you can, it's okay if you did that in the past, but make a movement for the sake of Allah and His Rasul. That, Ya Rabbi, grant me a year in which I move and actually move my location in my life. That's why they said there's a barakah in continuous movement. You don't just plant yourself one place like a tree and say, that's where I'm going to live the rest of my life. We're like a ship with a sail, we don't know where Allah is going to send us. But the intention is, Ya Rabbi, let me to live for the sake of you and your beloved Sayyidina Muhammad, and to live a life of service and a life in which I can emulate and copy these realities that Prophet brought for us. And then this is the understanding of this hijrah. When the hijrah opens, Muharram opens, it's a tremendous bab and gate that we're entering into that reality. Then Prophet sets for us an example in the greatness of the awliya of Naqshbandiyat al-Aliyah, that when Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq in that hijrah, Prophet took his beloved friend Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and they moved to the cave. They were on their way to Medina, to Munawwarah, and they were fleeing from the people of Mecca because they were not allowing Prophet to leave. So there's a couple events that we'll go over. But when that event of Prophet to make the hijrah, there was not a direct path to Medina, to Munawwarah, that they went up into the cave and they went into the cave with Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Means, and again in our life has a tremendous reality that if you are moving and making a hijrah to the world of light, Medina to Munawwarah, it's the city of lights, it's the city of malakut, the reality of the malakut. Seek in your life always the light, reach the reality of light. Means don't be so stuck on physicality. There are people who are only zahiri and all they're interested in is the physical aspects of Islam. Greatness of Islam is its malakut and the realities and the eternal message related to the world of light and souls. Where Prophet is describing that we have to move into that reality. I took the Siddiq into that direction, but before the city of lights opens I had to enter into a cave. And in that cave with the Siddiq then has every reality for Naqshbandiyah, that, Ya Rabbi, if I'm entering and asking to move into that direction and move into that reality, then they say, run to the cave and be from Ashab al-Kahf. You want to reach the city of lights, there is no direct run into the city of lights, but seek the cave. Then awliya come into our life and say, then make sure that you are seeking the cave and to ask to be from Ashab al-Kahf, that, Ya Rabbi, I want to be from the people of the cave, copying my beloved Sayyidina Muhammad and my beloved companion of Prophet Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Then our life is to seek the cave, and awliyaullah come into our life and begin to teach us that cave. And the reality of the cave is the heart of Prophet. There's a physical cave in which you see the physical cave. The spiritual cave for our reality and our soul is in the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad, because everything opens in Muharram. Before you can open the door of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, first you have to know what A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. That, Ya Rabbi, I'm seeking refuge from shaitan, the accursed one. I'm seeking refuge in you from the accursed one, and Allah's reply to us is, then what? Be with Sayyidina Muhammad. If you want to be with me who are with Nabiyeen, Siddiqeen, Shuhada'i was Saliheen, this is the best of company. Be with Sayyidina Muhammad and he will protect you against shaitan al-rajeem. So it means they're teaching all Qur'an, all realities are opening with an understanding. This is not a history story that was of the past, this is every moment of our life. That if this reality going to unfold for us, Qur'an is going to unfold for us, because your wudu is only as good as your shower. If you don't understand how to take a ghusl with a correct intention, all subsequent wudu is worthless for you. So most people pee in the shower, all your wudu is gone. Every subsequent wudu after that is of what value when you negated the ghusl? Means there's a key, when you understand the key every other lock opens based on it. How can somebody have an understanding of Holy Qur'an when they don't know Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? And the secret of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is in A'udhu, because you have to seek refuge. How can the light of Holy Qur'an reach to you? Because every surah you have to recite is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So they're teaching, if you don't have the first key understood, all subsequent locks are locked. And that's why these people when they talk, it's furqan, it's right and wrong, and usually very harsh. No realities, because they didn't understand the awzah. This is the reality of the hijrah, because we're making a hijrah from who? Shaitan al-Rajeem that's running from us. Ya Rabbi, I'm seeking refuge, so where's my refuge? My refuge is with Sayyidina Muhammad. Why? If you are with Prophet I'm already with Prophet. Why Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was teaching for us? Because we're Naqshbandiyat al-Aliyah, taking from the inheritance of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. That he was telling Prophet they're coming, the shayateen are coming to harm you, what am I going to do? How am I going to defend you alone? You can sense his love and his duress. I was given the responsibility, said by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq saying, I'm given the responsibility to be with Rahmatan lil Alameen. And shaitan is running after us. What are we going to do? What do I answer to Allah? And Prophet described for Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq in the cave, don't fear, Allah is with us. That is their proof that if you truly want to leave shaitan, then you have to be with Rahman, you have to be with Sayyidina Muhammad. Only the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, that when you have a love for Prophet more than you have a love for yourself, and that your life should be living for Prophet and spread the message of Sayyidina Muhammad, spread the character and the akhlaq. We live in a time where it's the worst, where you get to watch TV and people be slaughtered for Islam, and this is not Islam, and those are Dajjals, and this is not the message of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is not the rahmah and the mercy of Prophet. You feel it in your heart, you feel like you want to take the TV and smash it. But who are these people doing this? This is not the rahmah, this is not the message of Prophet. And we have to just sit and watch every atrocity, watch every craziness, watch every horrible thing that comes from their mouths. Their aqeedah and their belief all from hizb shaitan and the parties of shaitan. Then you feel that feeling that the only safety that Allah grants, be with Sayyidina Muhammad, be with Prophet, be from ashaqeen and love Sayyidina Muhammad, so that love while you're making durood al-sharif it sweetens your tongue, sweetens your heart, brings the nazar of Allah and the happiness of Allah when He sees His servant loving whom He loves. And that's why He is a Habibullah. That Allah's love for Prophet when He looks to the heart and sees that you love whom I love and I love you back, and I grant you Ghafoor Rahim. Because of the love you have, I forgive you for everything. And they take us into the cave and teach to us that that cave is the heart of Prophet, and that reality for us is everything in our life. That cave where Prophet is in with the great Siddiq, the great perfected character of truthfulness, that both are teaching for us an amazing character. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, that position and nearness with Prophet he gave everything in the way of Sayyidina Muhammad. When Sayyidina Umar Farooq Qaddasallahu Sirru with all his great stations, he gave a portion in the way of Prophet. Say, Ya Umar, your faith is not yet superb like Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, that he gave everything in the way of Prophet. That Prophet astonished that, Ya Abu Bakr, what did you leave for your family? He said, I left them Allah and His Rasul. That is the inheritance of Naqshbandiyat al-Aliyah, that the great Sahaba kiram and great Ahlul Bayt and Nabi they gave everything for that love, and they asked Allah, let them to inherit, Ya Rabbi, from my way in which I approached Prophet and I sought your satisfaction. And the turuqs and the people of haqqaiq, these are the big universities of Islam. They teach only Islam, the reality of Islam, and how to gain the satisfaction of Allah through the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. That to live a life in which everything for Prophet, and that what left in the heart is real tawheed of La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. That cave then has a secret. There was a spider web guarding that cave, and that is the reality of Ankabut. That Ankabut, when you look to Holy Qur'an, is Surah 29. People don't understand, they get confused with numbers, but that 29 has a tremendous reality. That 29 is the secret of Lam Alif. That 29 of Ankabut is a teaching for us that it's such a beautiful structure, that web, and how the spider makes that perfected web means it busies itself with the best of ibadah, the best of worshipness. And as a result Allah draws our attention to look at what a frail but magnificent structure that spider web makes. Better than any architect on dunya, with no computer graded, no graphics machines, just makes this beautiful web. That Ankabut is the reflection of 92. That 29 is a reflection of 92. Then for awliyaullah come into our life and begin to teach that 29 and the gate to that cave has to do with annihilation. That Lam Alif means La. As much as you exist, as much as you're far away from that cave and that door of that cave, because they couldn't see it. When they were looking for Prophet to come and make harm, they came to the cave but they couldn't see anybody inside. So it means there's a tremendous reality in Lam Alif. As much as you exist, the reality is far from you. take away of lam jalala, in which la. So the first zikr of all turuqs, la ilaha illallah, la, the energy from your breath comes and goes la to your head, ilaha illallah, nothing but Allah into the heart. But that energy of la is coming and teaching that if you're coming to Prophet with your head, you're not ever going to find that reality. This is beyond the understanding of mulk. The head is only for the understanding of mulk. The head can't understand the heavens, only the heart can understand the heavens. Only the heart is the base of the soul, only the heart understands love. The head doesn't understand love. All these realities are within the heart. To be dressed upon the heart means then Allah guiding us and teaching that if you want to enter into that cave, leave your aql and your head. But they say, oh shaykh, the first thing that Allah created was aql, not the aql that you think. He didn't create a big brain in heaven. There's a big brain up in space that aql, this is the aql for you people. It's like a cartoon. This aql is ayn, qaf, lam. Allah's ancient ayn is Allah's ancient knowledges. Aql, Allah when Allah is speaking is not from hadd dunya. We only use our capacity to understand divine realities. Aql for Allah is the ayn. Allah's ancient knowledges is what Allah created first. That ancient knowledge which is uncreated realities coming through qaf, Qur'an and Majid. Allah says, you want to understand what I created first? It's from the oceans of Al-Alim, my Sifat Al-Alim, first thing that I brought into existence. From that ancient oceans of Al-Alim it moves and manifests in qaf wal Qur'an and Majid. And Holy Qur'an is manifesting, but for you who don't know, it manifests through the aql is the lam. So ayn, Allah's ancient knowledge, qaf wal Qur'an and Majid, through where? The tongue of Prophet lisan al-haq. Allah's ancient knowledges, Holy Qur'an and malakut. There's nowhere Allah's sitting on a chair and reciting Qur'an for people. It's beyond our understanding, beyond our comprehension. But Allah's ancient power, ancient reality is moving upon Allah's ancient tongue of creation, which is Sayyidina Muhammad. So the first thing created of aql is in relationship to Prophet. It's not a big brain sitting up in space. So it means that when entering into that cave, they're teaching that reality that enter that cave, lose your head. Don't come this way with the head and the faculty of the head. The head has to be like the moon that shuts off. The moon shuts off, the moon doesn't claim to have any light of its own. Shamsi wal qamar. Come with your heart, come with love, your heart will be lit like a sun. If that heart lights up and you negate your head, negate what you're thinking, negate what you think you know, everything can begin to shine upon your face. Allah can open every reality. We said before, if they want to show you the reality of paradise and your understanding of paradise is maybe like a Disneyland, oh it's going to be so great, there's going to be like fountains going up and down and there'll be springs and I'll get some water, and when I want something, can I have some apples please? That head blocks you from every reality. How Allah can open anything for somebody who's coming with their head into that understanding. And the head hasn't seen anything and it's the world of imagination. And now with computer, with television, shaitan has pumped immense amount of imagination into the head where he imagines everything and takes the spirit and the soul on a voyage into nowhere. So then the first zikr Prophet take your head off, lose the head, negate your head, tell yourself and your head you know nothing, you're a piece of flesh in a box. and you haven't even seen anything, you know nothing, only Allah in my heart knows everything. My heart, if I open it up and shut my head, my heart will open. Allah qalb al-mu'min baytullah. Baytullah will guide me. The light of Allah and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad will guide me, and just shut the head. So then that spider web is for us to understand that come through the reality of 29 and negate yourself, 29 letter of Holy Qur'an of alphabet, lam alif. Be nothing, be nothing. Busy your life making that beautiful home. Then there was a dove that is the symbol of love. And all of this Allah put in front of the cave so that the people who were not of that reality, they couldn't even see Prophet. So people have eyes but they don't see this majlis. And even if they come to the majlis they say, I'm just hungry, why are these people sitting so long? They haven't the eyes that really see the energy here. They haven't the ears to actually hear what's happening. When you're making zikr, the halaqas of zikr are the halaqas of paradise. There must be malaika that are making a zikr far greater, far more powerful than us, all the way to Arsh ar-Rahman. This is hadith of Prophet. So we have eyes but we don't see, and we have ears that we don't hear. So it means they say, then open. That dove is the symbol of love, and that dove had 2 eggs because inside that cave is the owner of these 2 worlds, is the owner of the created world and owner of the invisible world, Malik al-Hayat wa Malik al-Dunya. That all that creation given for Sayyidina Muhammad. What Allah wants to do with creation? All He wants is Sayyidina Muhammad. All creation exists within the ocean of Muhammadun Rasulullah. It cannot exist within La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah by itself explains nothing with me, no shareek with me, no partner with me. I'm the creator, you don't understand that role, but you are from creation. So within that cave that dove symbolized the love, and inside that cave is the owner of these 2 mulks. That's what all our nasheeds are describing, that the one who is the owner of all these dawam, the one who's owner of all these worlds, that Allah mulki wa malakut. And inside that cave is our lifelong journey that Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is granting for us. Say, are you taking the name of Naqshbandiyya because it was Siddiqiyya? We say, yes, naam Sayyidi, we're here, labbaik, we heard and we came for the love of Prophet. How do we gain the love of Prophet? And the great Siddiq teaches that inside this cave there was a hole, and everybody's heart has a hole in which shaitan can enter. So it means it's not a past history story, it is our life story. That asking the great Siddiq that, I want to come to Prophet, how am I going to battle all of that? Said, don't worry, if you come and you follow my way, follow my character, follow that formula that this turuq is teaching you, you find yourself inside that cave. There was a hole in which that snake wanted to come to attack. Because shaitan is, there's a hole, every heart has a dirty spot on it, a black clot, that shaitan can enter into that spot. And from there he enters into the heart of the believer and begins the waswas and all the bad thoughts. Until that black spot is cleaned and cleansed, then shaitan can keep attacking, keep attacking, keep attacking. And the great Siddiq teaches, no, no, no. When that shaitan was coming and Prophet was on my lap resting, I put my heel and my qadam upon that hole. So Nazar bar Qadam. The tariqah is built on the qadam, that keep your eyes on your path. Don't let those feet take you dancing, don't let those feet take you in a direction is other than Sayyidina Muhammad, and then you know for sure the snake has gotten you. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is teaching that come to that cave, that if you follow our way, follow our way, follow our way, my foot will be on that hole and I won't let shaitan to come after you. And you'll be inheriting from Qadam al-Haqq wa Qadam al-Siddiq. And that's why then they call the students of the shaykh muqaddam, muqaddam, they're carrying the feet. Because these feet where they go, we're going to be there and in difficulty. So our path, one of the principles of the path is keep your nazar on your qadam. Don't look to who has what and what they have, and keep your eyes always to be hungry and hungry and hungry and be jealous and envious. But keep your eyes on your feet. Keep your eyes on your feet and you'll be so happy, because Allah may send you somebody who doesn't have feet and at least you have feet. Means if you keep your life in which Ya Rabbi, I only have to worry about myself and my grave and my relationship with You. I can't even put my children in my grave, I can't put them on my belly and go into the ground. Everyone has their own grave. So then keep my nazar on my qadam means keep all the desires of my eyes and my life, keep looking at my feet and say, Ya Rabbi, please this hijrah let it to always be towards Your Divinely Presence and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. That's the hijrah with Prophet and Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, because it's siddiqiyah. But before this hijrah moved, there was a great character, great sahabi and great Ahlul Bayt that we take within the tariqah through Imam Qasim and Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq. And Imam Ali comes and teaches us, yes, as soon as that hijrah beginning we had also a role to play, the family of Prophet. So everything described of how Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq gave everything, his love for Prophet is everything, that if you follow the Siddiq and build the character that's correct, you should be free from shayateen that are trying to attack and enter into your heart. And that's why the awliyaullah are so dressed by that reality, that if they don't give that reality and they plead to Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, if you don't give us your foot, the shaitan are going to take all these people away from the love of Prophet. And Allah wa kunum ma'as-sadiqin, don't worry, you keep their presence and I'll destroy shaitan. Don't worry about shaitan. You keep the way and keep the love of Prophet, we destroy shaitan right behind you, up he'd be cut from everything. And Sayyidina Imam Ali is also that hijrah, and teaching that before that hijrah could occur there were people coming to kill Prophet astaghfirullah. And he lays the example for us that, yeah, as a companion and from Ahlul Bayt we want to show creation that the highest service to Prophet is beyond cash and credit cards, but give your life for Prophet. And as a young boy, futuha lafata ila Ali teaching all the older ones that, no, you go accompany the messenger, you deliver the message, you do all these great things. I'm not worthy of that, I lay my life down for Prophet. And he said, yeah, take the bed, I'll go into the bed, let them kill me and you deliver your message. These are great characters, great examples, these are the heroes of Islam. And comes and says, no, I'll sacrifice myself for the love of Prophet. That message, let it to be delivered, the greatness of the personality, let it to be free, Allah in the bed. And they come, they can stab me and Prophet will have escaped and to be free. So means then the path is laid by the example, and these are the lords of annihilation, the lofty souls in which Allah describes. There are realities that they show you how to annihilate yourself. If you can't give up smoking and you can't give up drinking and you can't give up qadab and a bad character, then we feel ashamed how this young man of a youthful age decided he would give his life for life of Prophet. Not like Hizb shaitan that want to kill everybody for Allah. No, he gave his life. He didn't say, I won't hurt anyone. He didn't say, I'm going to sit there with a rock and I'll throw it on their heads as they pass by. He said, no, I'm not going to harm anyone. I just will lie in the bed and let them harm me and let Prophet to be free. Every example they give is of the perfection of character. And why Allah then made it to be Asadullah al-Qalib, victorious lion for Allah. And when Allah saw that Imam Ali going to lie into the bed Awliyaullah come and teach that Sayyidina Jibreel and Sayyidina Mikaeel were watching, and Allah do you see the love that He has for Sayyidina Muhammad, my most beloved in creation? Would you do that? They don't have a life to understand the reality of what he was giving his life. He was giving a gift that Allah had given to him, he was giving it for the love of Prophet. He was so happy by that sacrifice that he warned Sayyidina Jibreel and Sayyidina Mikaeel that, Sayyidina Mikaeel you be at his feet and Sayyidina Jibreel you be at his head, not a hair on Imam Ali should be damaged. And they immediately were at the presence and they inspired the people not to harm the one lying in the bed and to look in the bed, and they understood that they didn't have Prophet. This is the inheritance of our way. This is not a history story but our reality in our life. Every time something becomes difficult, these 12 months that are coming is no way in comparison to the difficulty of what they endured. And we're asking to reach to the presence of Prophet, then they say, at least then emulate and understand our way. Sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your bad character. You don't have to die for anyone but your bad character should die. You should give up a bad habit like a jihad against yourself. Say, Ya Rabbi, for the sake of Prophet I'm not going to smoke, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to do these bad things, I'm not going to have qadam and anger. Let me just sacrifice something in that way, and then that adheres and keeps the way of Imam Ali, keeps the way of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and to reach towards the satisfaction of Allah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha.
سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي